Hey there, my name is Jay. I'm one of the expert IELTS teachers here at E2 Language. Let's take a look at a tricky reading task. It's one that sort of bamboozled me when I did it. It's called Match Sentence Endings. It's for academic and general training. Okay, so this is what it looks like on test day. First of all, you have a passage of text which you will have to read. Then you have this weird looking question here. It's like, what? You've got the first part of a sentence here, and you've got all of these endings of sentences here, of which there are more than the start of the sentence. This one's a bit confusing, right? By the end of this video, you'll not only know what this all means, but hopefully you'll also be able to get them right. Cool, let's take a look at some tips. So the questions come in order. So when you find the answer for number 1, number 2 will come after that in the text, and number 3 will follow that one in the text. There are always more endings than sentence beginnings. So here are the beginnings of the sentences, and here, as you can see, there are nearly twice as many endings. If you're taking the computer-delivered test, you'll be dragging and dropping the endings to the beginnings of the sentences. And if you're doing the paper-delivered test, you're going to be writing the correct letter onto the answer sheet. So it might be like number 1, E, 2, C, etc. Okay, let's take a look at a method so we know how to approach these types of questions, and then we'll do some practice. So the method is like this. You want to make sure you check the instructions first of all. You should always do that with IELTS reading. Then you'll read the questions and identify the key words. You'll scan the text for the relevant section. You'll read carefully, then you'll choose the answer. Let's apply the method. So check the instructions. It says, questions 1 to 3, complete each sentence with the correct ending A to E from the box below. Cool bananas, we can do that. So we want to read the questions and identify key words. Let's start with number 1. The residents of Königsberg. That is a good keyword, Königsberg. Then you're going to scan the text for the relevant section, and remember that the first question will obviously be at the top. So we look closely here and we can see the townsfolk of Königsberg. And that's pretty much a paraphrase of number 1 there that says the residents of Königsberg. Means the same thing. So we know we're in the right spot. Then we're going to have to read carefully, okay? Let's read this. It says, Königsberg is a town on the Prega River in modern-day Russia. In the river, there are 2 islands, which are connected to the riverbanks by 7 bridges. A traditional logic game in the 1700s for the townsfolk of Königsberg was to try to walk around the town only crossing each bridge once. Cool, hopefully you've understood that, because then what you're going to do is choose the correct ending of the sentence here. So the residents of Königsberg thought the solution was straightforward, helped invent modern-day network theory, would traverse the route to find the solution, devise several methods to solve the problem, failed to solve the Königsberg Bridge problem. The correct answer is C here, and the reason is because the residents of Königsberg would traverse the route to find the solution. Here it says here, a traditional logic game in the 1700s for the townsfolk of Königsberg was to try to walk around, traverse the town, only crossing each bridge once. So basically what's happening is that says the same thing as that there. Cool bananas, I think you've got it. Now it's your turn. Okay, let's apply that method again. Okay, you have 3 minutes to answer number 2 and number 3. Okay, let's take a look at the answers here. So, number 2, a number of experts. And if you look closely in the text there, you can see a synonym or a paraphrase, something that says this, a similar thing, many scientists. So we're nowhere in the right spot. Let's read carefully. It says, it was an extraordinarily difficult problem to solve and became of great interest to many scientists who tried their best to find a solution. It wasn't until 1736 when a Swiss mathematician named Leonhard Euler solved the problem. So, which of those sentence endings matches with that first part? A number of experts. The answer is E, failed to solve the Königsberg Bridge problem. Cool. What about number 3? A Swiss mathematician named Leonhard Euler. If we look closely in the text, we can see his name there. And if we read closely, solve the problem. He proved mathematically that crossing the same bridge only once was actually impossible. In order to prove his theory, he invented a diagram that later became known as the first network, a revolution for the modern world and the beginning of a branch of mathematics called network theory. The sentence ending that matches to number 3 is B. So, a Swiss mathematician named Leonhard Euler helped invent modern-day network theory. Cool, hopefully that was helpful. Now you should go and do some practice for yourself.